But first tonight, our February snow is put to good use by more than 10,000 skiers competing in the Birkie.
Live from the WDIO broadcast studios, this is Eyewitness News at 10 Saturday on WDIO WIRT.
Good evening, I'm Lori Stribling. Thanks for joining us tonight. It's one of the Northland's biggest winter events. The 40th annual American Birkiebiner was in Wisconsin today. Our reporter Travis Dill was among more than 20,000 fans.
3, 2, 1, go! Have a good time, everybody.
Wave upon wave of skiers streak across the snow, pushing themselves for over 2 hours. They call it Birkie fever.
It's just in our blood, so like everybody else today, as I finish, I'm going to say the same thing. I'll do better next year.
Skier Pete D'Orenzio explains why the event draws so many people from all over the world.
The course, the Birkie, the tradition. It's kind of the Boston Marathon of skiing.
Including today, he skied the trail from Cable to Hayward 33 times, but he's not done yet.
Oh, I want to get 50, like everybody else, you know.
Whether you're an elite skier or it's just a hobby, the 31-mile trek is grueling. Thankfully, the fans come prepared. The cowbells spur skiers on, and that's something they really appreciate.
The fans are amazing. Skiing along the course, and there's drums, there's music, there's fire, and there's food, and they're hooting and hollering at you, and they keep you going. They're amazing.
The traditions are unique, and every year tens of thousands of people keep them alive. So why do they do it?
I forgot to quit. That's my problem. But it was a good thing not to quit, so it's a lot of fun. And
most simply say that it's fun, but words can't describe an experience like the Birkiebiner. In Hayward, Wisconsin, Travis Dill, Eyewitness News.
And skiers came from 21 different countries and 48 states, and we'll hear from the winners of the classic and skate races coming up later in Eyewitness Sports.
The 40th annual American Birkiebiner races ended in dramatic fashion this afternoon. Thousands of skiers took off from Telemark Resort in Cable this morning. This course is 50 kilometers long. Some racers say it's one of the toughest they've skied. The men's skate event saw an all-Italian podium. Sergio Bonaldi, number 18, coming up on the left of your screen, won in a photo finish. Also a close race on the women's side, but Caitlin Compton-Gregg of Minneapolis won by a nose after finishing second in the last Birkie.
All'inizio pensavo che era dura, quindi ho cercato di risparmiare.
In the beginning he tried to save energy. He was always behind, and the other three of the Italian team were doing all the work for him. But at the end, he found out that he has some energy, and so he was able to win.
Oh, it's just an incredible feeling. I mean, I think the best part was that I got to come down Main Street first, and you know, you never know what's gonna, you know, what the outcome's gonna be. You know, it's definitely one of those races when it's a sprint like that. I mean, it's right down to the end of the race.
Well, Birkie fans were lining both sides of Main Street in Hayward, cowbells in hand to welcome in the classic skiers as well. It was a milestone day for Doug DeBold of Minneapolis. He was the first to cross the finish line in his very first 50K race. Ingrid Sopstad of Norway was the women's classic champ, skiing in just her second Birkiebiner race.
It was awesome. It was a lot of fun. I really didn't know if I was going to get it until about 50 meters before the finish, and then finally could kind of relax and let it sink in.
Amazing. I can't even describe the feeling. It was so good feeling. Oh, I'm so happy right now. I've never experienced this. I felt like a queen. So good.
In the Quartalopet race, Luke Brown of St. Paul won the men's skate event. Elena Soneson of Plymouth was the women's skate champion. In classic competition, Andrew Egger from Edina was the men's champ, and Nicole Baith of Fitchburg, Wisconsin took the women's title.
The 40th American Birkiebiner was a special one full of exciting finishes. Laura Kennedy has this week's Up North.
The skis were waxed and the conditions were near perfect as thousands of skiers took off from the Birkiebiner starting line in Cable. But only one of them could be the first to cross the finish line. That honor belonged to Sergio Bonaldi of Italy after a neck-and-neck battle with his teammates.
And then he saw that he has some energy, so he was keep on pushing and pushing. And it was really a big surprise when he came into and he said that he has won because he was thinking to be second.
A big change for the Birkie this year. The women's skate skiers took off from the starting line first. That made for an exciting finish here in Hayward.
There were times when we were out there on course and, you know, the field was thinning and it was maybe one lane of women long, you know, one lane train. And we were just out there in this pristine wilderness. It was quiet. The course was just open, you know, open corduroy in front of us, and I think that that's everyone's dream, you know.
Growing up in Minnesota, the Birkie's always been the biggest race around, and it's pretty cool to get to win it.
Some skiers have raced in more than 30 Birkies, but Doug DeBold of Minneapolis was a rookie.
I didn't really have a plan. This is my first 50K, so I just kind of tried to feel out how hard I could ski to the finish.
Ingrid Sopstad trains in her home country of Norway, but even she got some butterflies in the beginning.
Well, I started way too fast. That was so stupid in the beginning, but I just was so eager and I just wanted to go all the way. So I was just waiting to crash, but I never did, so I'm just happy.
The winners got to enjoy the cheers of Birkie fans and the scenery of Northwest Wisconsin.
The beauty of the Birkie is that we, as elite racers, you know, have a fantastic course, have world-class competition, but then, you know, all of my family members can participate as well.
Main Street was awesome. That's the first time I've ever come down. That was really cool.
Amazing. I've never experienced this. I felt like a queen. So good.
After achieving the ultimate goal, they say they'll be back to go for it again next year. In Hayward, I'm Laura Kennedy for Eyewitness Sports.
Wonderful story.